Have you ever noticed how the more affiliate marketing videos you watch, the more confused you actually become? Because I certainly did. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons most beginners never get results. Not because affiliate marketing doesn't work, and not because they're too old, and not because they aren't smart enough, but because you overcomplicate everything. I know this because I did exactly the same thing, of course, when I first started looking at ways to make money online. I thought success must be pretty complicated. I thought there had to be some secret strategy, some advanced systems, some complicated setups that successful people knew about and beginners didn't. So I did what many people did or do. I start collecting information, another video, another course, another strategy, and another expert. And for a while, it felt productive. I felt busy. I felt like I was learning something. But looking back now, I wasn't building anything. I was just collecting information. And there's a huge difference between learning and progressing. Something I wish I had understood way much sooner than what I did, or when I did. At the time, I was spending long periods away at sea. That's what I do. If you've been watching my videos, you would know I work very hard at sea. Been at sea my whole life, probably over 55 years now, or about that, 55 years. Missing out on all sorts of things in my family. And for what really, I had a great life, but I missed out on everything with my children, everything. So all it meant was I was thinking constantly about how I could create a different future for myself. A future where I wasn't always away from home. A future where I had more choices, more freedom, and definitely more control over my time. And every time I came across affiliate marketing, I felt like there was hope, but it also felt overwhelming because every person seemed to have a different method, a different funnel, a different system, and different shortcuts. And I remember thinking, why does this all seem so complicated? The answer became clear later, obviously, because complexity sells. Simplicity doesn't really. If somebody tells you that success comes from one platform, one message, one audience, one free guide, one email list, and a lot of patience, it doesn't sound very exciting, does it? And that's usually how successful businesses actually are being built. The problem is that the beginner often think complicated means better. I certainly did. I believed I needed more softwares, or more tools, or more training, and more strategies. I believed all that. But every new thing I added made things harder, not easier, and eventually I realized something very important, that people making progress weren't necessarily smarter than me. They were simply more focused. They weren't trying to do everything. They were trying to do one thing consistently. That changed everything for me because instead of asking, what else do I need? I started asking, what can I remove? That's a completely different question. Instead of adding complexity, I start removing it. And I stopped chasing multiple strategies. I stopped worrying about every new trend. And I stopped trying to learn everything at once. And I just focused on something much simpler. I started creating content and helping people and growing an email list, which is very important, your email list. And that is it. And honestly, that's when things started feeling possible. Not easy. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but feeling possible. Not easy, but very possible. And that's important because when something feels possible, you keep going. When something feels overwhelming, you tend to quit. Most beginners don't need another strategy. They need less confusion. Simple as that, really. Imagine trying to learn 10 different sports all at the same time. Say golf, tennis, football, swimming, boxing, cycling, running, cricket, rugby, basketball. You'd probably, just a little bit, become overwhelmed very quickly. But if you focused on just one of these sports, you'd improve very steadily and you'd probably become very good at it. Affiliate marketing kind of works the same way. Successful people usually do less. So they do less, but they do it more consistently. And consistency is where results come from, especially on YouTube. One of the reasons I like YouTube so much now is because it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And you create a video and you help someone and you upload it and you repeat the same thing again and again. That's a model that I can understand. That's a model that I can follow. And it's easy to follow it even when I'm working away at sea because I don't need to be online all day, especially when I don't have that much bandwidth at sea and it's hard to get an internet access. I don't need to chase people with YouTube. I don't need to constantly post every few hours like Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. I can focus on creating something useful, I should say, and let it work for me over time. So that suits my personality much better. And that's why I do affiliate marketing on YouTube. And maybe it would suit you too, especially if you're over 50. Because most of us aren't looking for excitement at that age. We're looking for stability and we're looking for simplicity. We're looking for something realistic. And realistic businesses are usually built through repetition, not complexity. The people who succeed online aren't always the most talented. They aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the most technical. They're often just the people who stayed focused long enough. That's a lesson that I wish I had learned earlier. If you're sitting there feeling overwhelmed, trying to figure out affiliate marketing, trying to make sense of everything, I want you to remember this. You probably don't need another strategy. You probably need fewer strategies. You probably don't need more information. You probably need more action. And you definitely don't need to learn everything before you begin. Because clarity comes through doing things, not through endless learning. That's something I continue to remind myself, well, even today. So if you're trying to build an online business without all the hype and confusion, that's exactly what this channel is about. Simple affiliate marketing, simple YouTube growth, and simple systems for normal people, especially those of us starting later in life. We all want simple. So if that sounds useful, consider subscribing to me and watching my follow-up videos. Watch my journey. Maybe you could start your own journey alongside me. And if you'd like to see the exact simple system that I'm using right now, I put together a free guide down there in my description. Pick up free PDF and take some action. We spoke about action earlier. Take some action. Take a look when you're ready anyway. There's no pressure. And remember, the biggest mistakes most beginners make is believing success is complicated. The truth is usually much simpler than that. And sometimes doing less is exactly what moves you forward. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you subscribe, you'll get 2 videos per week from me. And yeah, don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Everybody likes the thumbs up because it helps people like you and me and people our age see these videos on the For You page. So thanks again. I'll see you in the next video. Steve out.